Hi, I'm Peter from Coffee Parts, and today we have here the Mahlkoenig E65S grind by weight, GBW. Let's take a look into it and see what makes this grinder different. If you've been enjoying the review so far, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It really helps us grow this channel. So the grind by weight. The hero feature of this grinder really is weight-based grinding. Yes, it does time-based, yes, it does manual, but you're really purchasing this grinder because of the weight-based aspect of it. Now, the reason for going to weight-based is to get that consistent of espresso, you really want to be getting X amount of grams in and X amount of yield out of your coffee. So just say 20 grams in and 40 grams out on your espresso on a 2-to-1 ratio. When people are weighing in their coffee and weighing out, it's very time intensive. You have to basically tar your portafilter, grind into your portafilter, then check the weight and add or remove from it to get that consistency between every espresso. Arguably, the more milk you have in espresso, the less it's probably noticeable, but cafes that are really looking for that consistent level of coffee are doing this. So what this grinder solves, the pain point it solves, is the time aspect of weighing in, weighing out. Effectively, once you've dialed in your portafilter, so it recognizes the weight of your portafilter, it can then run consistently, and it does it at 2.2 degree of variance. You can narrow that down, but what happens is if you narrow down that tolerance, then it takes a little bit longer to recognize the portafilter. So say if you had it to 0.1 gram or under, it takes a bit longer, and I feel like a balance between it registering the portafilter fast and getting your accuracy is probably around the 0.2 mark. So let's have a look at what that looks like. We currently have this set to 18 grams, and just for the video, we have tarred the portafilter and we're gonna check. In real life, you wouldn't be checking on every shot. So put it in, hands-free operation. You saw how fast that picked up the portafilter. If the tolerance was lower, to say 1.1 per gram, it would pick it up slightly slower. And we're now weighing this, and it weighed spot on. Or actually just moved to 18.1. It was spot on for a second, but yeah, it weighed in 18.1. We can do it again just to kind of show the consistency. And again at 18.1. Now, the portafilter support on this machine is really neat. It's the same portafilter support used across most of the Enro group machines, so the Mahlkönig, Anthem, etc. And it really is neat, and it really does allow for very little mess. In saying that, the neck of this spout is actually removable, and when you just pull it out, and over here you can adjust the height that adjusts the angle of the spout. So if you did have a slightly different portafilter, you could move the positioning of where the grind is going to. Same as if you had different portafilters, you could adjust the height of the portafilter support. So say between, I guess, a relatively normal portafilter and a Lamazoco with the platform style. Just get that back in there. Now, going through this grinder, if you weren't using it on weight, so the portafilter support is actually connected to the weight module, which sits just under here. If you weren't using it on weight, you'd be using it on time, which is another common way to run these, except if you're just going for a time-based grinder, then you'd probably just look at the E65S. But very simply, you double click this to get into the kind of recipes or the menu. You go into the recipe, and then you can adjust here. So if you were in this menu, you can go in, so time-based, we can click, and we can go weight-based or manual. And if you're on time-based, then you can go down and very easily move your time. And go through and save it. Or if you were in a weight-based situation, if we double-click back in, edit recipe, click this one, turn it into a weight-based. You can go in and select what kind of weight you're looking at. So if you wanted to go down to, call it 15 grams, that would be it. And you could also then go do your portafilter allocation. So once you register the portafilters, you'll register them independently. So this might be portafilter 1, if you have another portafilter 2, 3, whatever, and then you just allocate which portafilter you want to run to that weight based. Now, in saying that, if you did have the calibrated portafilters where they're all identical weight, It's fine if you're using it just for one setting. If you wanted to use it for multiple settings, a way to get around that would be just to open the portafilter handle and put even a minute bit of weight inside there. So even a bit of blue tack or just anything, close it back up and it changes the weight. Most people are running portafilters that have variants anyway. It's only the people that have bought Lamazork or calibrated portafilters that would need to do that. So going back into here, we've got your weight, your time, and your dose based. So if you were to go back and go into a time-based one, so just call it this one, which we've got 2 seconds. 2 seconds is probably a little bit low, so let's just move it up to 3 seconds. It is a very fast grinder, so if we just go into here, time-based, go back, and just change that to 3 seconds for the sake of it. Cool. And let's just go back. And back. So let's run 3 seconds and just see what it looks like. Once it's done, lights up green and it's ready. So 3 seconds is obviously too little for this. We had it set up based on weight, so we haven't actually calibrated it based on time. That's the main functions. Another interesting fact about this machine is between grinds, just say you can also set this up for cupping or other things. It will tell you throughout the day, once you've locked it in, what you need to move your blade adjustments based on a variance of height to keep it consistent. So instead of chasing that grind through the day, the grinder will actually tell you it needs to be moved slightly. And you can also from the rear here lock it in. So like you had in the old Mazdas where you lock the screw in so you couldn't adjust it anymore, you've just got a little turn knob at the back so you can lock it so it's movable, or you can unlock it, and that's the wrong way around. I mean, you can lock it so it's not movable, and you can unlock it so it's movable. And now with the hopper, like every other hopper, you can close that chute, remove that hopper. The grinder won't work without the hopper in it for a safety mechanism. In saying that, you do need to have coffee in the hopper. It's not a single dose grinder, but this is built for cafes moving volume. So generally the people buying this grinder want to have that hopper full and want to punch out consistent espressos every time. So that's kind of the general gist of this. If you were to say you've just received your grinder, it's traveled a fair bit and it needs calibration, you can go into the calibration menu. You do need to get the password. So if you bought it from us, reach out to us or whoever your local dealer is, get the password to log in, and to calibrate it, you need a 1 kilo weight or 2 500 gram weights. We use 2 500, so they sit on one on each side of the spout. And you just calibrate the machine. Super simple, go into the settings, calibrate it. You can do that for both to reset the machine and to calibrate the weight on it. So a final thought, where do I see this machine fitting in? This machine really is for that specialty world cafe. Top of the game, wanting consistency, coffee after coffee. People that are focusing on black coffee or in-house dining, possibly like low volume size, so 6 ounce takeaway cups. I feel like the bigger the content of milk, the less you notice the variance of great espresso. But yeah, high-end specialty cafes, obviously it comes with a fair price point, so you're not on the economy or budget end of the spectrum. Really, cafes looking for that top end competition, wanting to beat the others. So if you wanted to know something specific about this machine, hit us up in the comments below, email us, call us, and we can discuss a specific area, because there is a lot we can talk about this machine. But I was trying to keep this video quite concise and what you broadly want to see. Thank you for watching. I'm Peter from Coffee Parts. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, share, comment, do your thing. Thank you.